Good afternoon, everybody. Today is it's Thursday. It's Thursday, November 7th of 2024. We are convening a session of the Philadelphia Tax Review Board. Today's category is water revenue. My name is Melissa Andre. I'm the executive director, and it is my responsibility to make sure everybody is aware that this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy. And by continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. Also, this recording will be posted on the Tax Review Board website. Thank you. With me today is our board chair, Paula Weiss, as well as board members John O'Connor and Ryan Boyer. At this point, Paula, please take it away.
All right, Tax Review Board hearings for November 7th, 2024 are now in session. First case on our docket, last four digits of the docket number are 9746 for 516-18 East Washington Lane, East Rentals LLC. I believe the petitioner, person representing the petitioner East Rentals is in our Zoom. Ms. McCaskill, good afternoon. Could you state your full name for the record, please?
Teresa McCaskill.
And
do you swear or affirm the testimony you may end up giving today will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so we are here following a hearing, I'm not even sure when, a while ago, at which point the Tax Review Board issued a preliminary order to the Water Revenue Bureau to make adjustments to this bill and come back to us so that we could see what the results are of those adjustments. And just for the record, we had looked at that. We were looking at the period January 30th, 2015 through May 25th, 2022, directing the department to reduce the monthly usage to 1,000 CCFs per month, waive 100% of any penalties that were open or paid, and to come back with us and give us an understanding of where that leaves the bill as what's due and owing. So, Mr. Peng, is this your case?
No, it'll be mine. Sorry.
Pardon me?
It'll be mine.
I'm sorry, Ms. Williams. Thank you. So if you could share with the board what those calculations provided, where we stand.
And again, Keshana Williams on behalf of the city. Good afternoon. So currently the rebilling from the October 15th hearing, where it was continued in order for that to take place, has not taken place. I would refer to our witness, but it is not reflecting in the account as of yet, but the abatements have been honored. They just aren't reflecting.
I don't know what that means. What abatements have been honored?
So the order from the October 15th hearing is entered. It just has not been calculated.
Okay, when you say entered, what does that mean? Entered, like it's in process entered? If the calculation's not done, I don't know what entered means.
So I'll refer to our witness, but it's not reflecting in the system.
Okay. Who is your witness?
I would just like to call Ms. Brockington Long.
Good afternoon, Ms. Brockington Long. How are you today?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Good. Could you state your name and position for the record, please?
My name is Angela Brockington Long, and I'm with the Water Revenue Bureau.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Could you give us an update on what's going on with this account?
Okay, I'm looking at the account now. There is an adjustment. This was done in July.
Right.
So
No,
if this is current.
no.
If the board
There was an
pleases.
order from the board
Okay.
on October 15th that this be recalculated with a longer period of time,
Mhm.
and that July adjustment is not correct.
Okay, let me just take another look because I don't see an actual adjustment, but let me just look to see if there's a call.
If the board pleases, I think I can clarify since I appeared
Oh.
previous time. And in this case, I think the issue is simply that
Identify yourself for the record.
this is Kareem Saifuddin on this for the city. I think the issue is just there hasn't been enough time for them to like get to the order. Like that was issued the last time. and that it's in queue.
Why didn't you let us know? Not you personally.
Someone could have let me
Ms.
know.
McCaskill is here. I mean, she's on Zoom, thank goodness, but she's taken time out of her day again.
Can I say something, please? I'm so sorry to interrupt you guys, but this is it. This is it. I would like to ask that this case be dismissed. I have been through this over and over again. I've had my attorney look at these papers, looked at the amounts that was on here, the amounts that were paid. The bill went from $12,000 to $27,000, back down to $15,000. And these are the papers that the water department gave me themselves. Something is wrong. I want this case dismissed. I'm tired, y'all. Enough is enough. I'm tired. I'm over it. I keep coming back. They keep doing the same thing. This man is going to take me to court for this building, for this water bill. They have a lien on his property. He's going to take me to court. And then I'm going to have to spend money to take the water department to court. I want this thrown out, y'all. They had enough time to do this. The last time I was here, the lady said the man said he wasn't prepared. He didn't know he would have to get this. Now we're back again and they're still not prepared.
All right,
I'm
Ms. McCaskill.
asking to have the case thrown
Got it.
out. I'm tired. I'm over it. I'm tired.
You have every reason to be, honestly.
Tired.
I think
I'm
the board is
over
going to step back
Yep,
and we're going to go over this. Thank you.
if everybody could just hold tight, please.
That's it. It's too much. I'm over it. Let me get it for you.
I'm just waiting for the board members to come in.
Okay, we're all back.
Yes, I'm back.
Very good. Tax Review Board is now in session. Board has gone back. We've discussed the circumstances. We've discussed the fact that there have been several hearings. We have been waiting. We have made some requests, waiting for the city. They seem to have had difficulty in complying on more than one occasion.
We have Not,
Ms. McCaskill has been here every single time. She has provided us with documentation over and over and over again that matches to a large degree the city's own records regarding hundreds and hundreds of dollars in payments to the city for this water bill. And at this point in time, it is the decision of the board to grant this petition and abate the bill in its entirety. Can I
If the
get?
board pleases.
Brian Boyer, I concur.
John O'Connor, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. I'm sorry, this is just the end of this case. It has
and
been
I would
going.
like to make the record for purposes of argument, because that was,
I'm not finished. The bill, the tax review board is granting this petition, abating the bill. Ms. McCaskill, you will get a letter from the board within 2 weeks with that decision. Either side may appeal to the Court of Common Pleas within 30 days from the date of that bill. So please be aware that information will be in that letter to you. That is the extent of what this board can do at this time.
but I
But
still,
we do appreciate your effort, and we do appreciate that you've been here, and we certainly appreciate your frustrations. Ms. Williams, you may add to the record at this point.
thank you. For starters, it is not that the city had a problem complying. The order from the July 2nd hearing, which I was present for, was processed correctly in the July debit adjustment for 2024. The order stated from January 2015 to April 2019. I was not present for the October 15th date 2 weeks ago, but it did change the dates from January 2015 from April 2019 to May 2022. So the debit adjustment was made and the city did comply with the original order. It somehow changed from 2019 to 2022 when I was not present at the October hearing. The city has not had time to comply with the order, but the previous order was complied with and did reflect on the account as our witnesses stated.
What I do want to say is there was another hearing in between the July date and the other date, and it was in September.
And it was continued for proof of payment, not for adjustment.
Not for proof of payment. There was a hearing that occurred on August 7th where, again, information was relayed about the information and that adjustment. And at that hearing, we asked for another adjustment, which is why at the hearing that Mr. Safedine appeared for, we asked for updated information. And he was said that that order from the August 7th date was not complied with. So
No, because there was nothing to comply with on that order.
Okay, well, here's the deal. We're not arguing about this now. That's our decision. Everybody knows what their rights are going forward. And everyone will get their decision letter in a timely manner. And that will be the end of today's hearing. We're going to move on. Thank you, Ms. McCaskill. Good luck.
Much, thank you.
Our next,
I'm just stepping out to see who's out here. 1 second.
And that does conclude my business. May I be excused?
certainly.
Mr. Quinn is here. His client is here. We anticipate moving forward with this case. He just stepped away to the restroom. So if everybody can just give him about 3 to 5 minutes, he'll be back and we can start.
All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Yell when everybody's ready.
Will do.
Oh.
Everyone? Oh, that is on you. We're back.
Hello.
All right. We're back. Ryan, I've John. All right.
So I can see,
The documents?
yeah,
No, because we're not allowed to put anything outside, but I can do it. So if you
Okay.
just tell me what to do,
there,
when it's
there's
your
a
turn.
yeah, when there's a folder that says, right, WRIGHT, and inside it says exhibits, and then there are 10, number
yeah.
1 to 10.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on to what is listed on our docket as case number 2, 1528 Point Breeze Avenue. Last 4 digits of the docket are 0118. Good afternoon, Mr. Quinn.
Afternoon.
I'm Paula Weiss, Chair at the Tax Review Board. Could you identify yourself for the record, please, with your full name?
Yeah, Anthony B. Quinn, attorney, registration number 26931. Office address is the Bellevue Building, 5th floor, Suite 550, 200 South Broad, Philadelphia.
Thank you. And you have with you your
I
client?
have Harriet Wright with me,
Yes.
and she is the petitioner.
Right. Ms. Wright, could you state your full name for the record, please?
Harriet Wright.
And do you swear or affirm that any testimony you may give today will be the truth?
I affirm.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Quinn, we're going to turn to the city first so that we can get the time periods and dollar amounts and controversy. And then we'll come back to you for you to present your case to the board members today. Okay, so who has this matter for the city?
Yimping represent the city. My witness will be Angela Brockington Long.
Okay, Ms. Brockington Long, you've already been sworn. Could you provide us with the periods involved? And
Actually, I have an issue that need to be addressed before the case in chief determines whether this case needs to go forward at all.
okay.
So in the last hearing before the appeal in the tax review board in 2023 is also a full board hearing. Ms. Wright testified that she began to read the bills somewhere around 2018. And that fact makes this petition now out of time. So the city would like the board to deny the petition for being out of time.
Mr. Peng, I think that that argument is out of time itself. We are here based on a remand from the Court of Common Pleas, I believe. And we have been ordered by the court to go forward with a hearing on this matter, and we plan to do so. You can put your objection on the record. That's perfectly fine, but we're not going to entertain the non-proton motion at this time.
The issue is this motion couldn't be made in the previous hearing. Can only be made in current hearing because the information provided by Ms. Wright herself during the first hearing, it's in the transcript.
Were you here during that first hearing?
Yes.
Okay, well, it could have been made at that time, I guess. So we are, I note your objection for the record. I understand, but we are going ahead with this today.
So, yeah. Okay. Just for the
Okay.
record, she said herself that, I quote, I think I started getting them, which means the bill in 18. So this is the question I asked. Okay, so you didn't read the water bills before 2017, is that fair? And then Ms. Wright answered, no, I did not. I did not receive or did not receive, read or receive before, actually, before I could say 2017, 2018, nothing up until 2017. And I think I started getting them in 18. So it's a party admission.
Okay.
So can you
As I
tell
said,
me?
the board's going to note that for the record, but at this point, we would like Ms. Brockington Long to give us the information as to the time periods and the dollar amounts in controversy.
Okay, there's a slight change to the document you have for the time period. Is actually the June 27, 2013 balance transfer through February 1st, 2022. That's the time period. The principal is $6,157.34. Penalty, $5,617.75. Lien, $495,270.89.
But $495 for the liens. Could you read the
Yes.
number again?
Sure, the lien is $495.80.
And what is the total?
$12,270.89.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you break out the balance transfer amount? If there's additional, if that 6,000 includes additional charges post balance transfer?
Sure, you want the balance transfer? Okay.
Yeah, separate.
Second. Yes, the balance transfer is $7,495.31.
And that was on June 27th, 2013.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Peng, any opening comments?
Yeah, so just like to begin with, this is a petitioner, Ms. Harriet Wright's petition. So the city's position that she bears the burdens of proof, and city would just like to address that the property owner responsible for all the water bills incurred and water usage incurred in his or her property, whether he or she is personally incurred those usage or not, and just a brief summary of her account that the instant water account, there's no usage since 2015, so there's only a little usage between 2013 and 2014, and afterwards there's zero usage. The bills has been, from my understanding, stormwater and service. My witness Angela will go deep into that.
We'll get into the testimony. Okay, we're going to turn Mr. Quinn.
Yes, first
You're
I'd
up.
like to ask Mr. Ping a question. Mr. Ping, can you tell me what pages you were reading from when you, of the prior transcript?
Is page 20, around line 12 to 18.
Thank you. Okay, so I have what was available to us from the prior hearing, which I did not, she was unrepresented. And so in these amounts, so as I have it now, as far as the balance transfer is concerned, I have a bill going back to November 2 of 2006, unpaid and forward. Is that how you're arriving at the balance transfer, ma'am?
Angela?
Yes, the balance transfer consists of all the unpaid charges from the previous owner.
Angela, was there a 15-year write-off took place and then reduced balance transfer after the transfer happened?
Yes, September 2nd, 2022. There was a 15-year write-off in the amount of $1,618.28. And that transferred from the previous owner.
So that reduced that amount.
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
And did you say that was September of 2022?
Yes,
Oh, and the total amount again on that was 1,028
$618.28.
cents. And Mr. Ping, can you send to me, and because I wish you had, everything since the last hearing, the water and sewer rent account history?
Yeah, I can provide you that
Okay,
after hearing.
okay. And okay, and so Ms. Brockington Long, I show that in beginning in 2013, there's a 10/30/2013, there was a, is that, let me see, is that before you were? Is that before you were? Oh, yeah, it is. So 2013, there's a 20-month bill for zero consumption. And then a couple of large bills, not every month, apparently. And then we go into 14. Now they're picking up every month, and then it drops off. No bill from 14 to 2021 on the printout that I have, account history, water and sewer rent for this property. Is that your understanding?
Wait,
So
I'm sorry. Why are we jumping around? I thought he was putting on his case.
I was just gonna jump. Mr. Quinn, is this, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like, do you need, or is this the situation where you and Mr. Peng need to have some kind of conversation outside of a hearing to see if this can get worked out, or you need more documents?
Well,
'Cause we're not, I mean, this is not the place to start to ask for more documents or for the, explanations in this way, where we're waiting for you to put on your testimony and your evidence.
okay, okay.
If you're not ready to
But
do
we
that,
had, we had
feel like
a,
there's more.
we
that
had,
you-
we
from
had a
Mr.
witness, and I had a couple questions for the witness who did testify. So if that's not proper here to ask the witness who's testified questions, then that's fine. I'll leave it go. And I'll take it as.
No,
that's
she just was
proper.
testifying, I guess.
Okay, so,
I mean, you'll have an opportunity
so-
to cross-examine her once Mr. Payne puts on his case and she testifies, but if it sounds more like you're, rather than, anyway, go
okay,
ahead.
okay, so I'll wait for Mr. Ping to put on his case then.
All
Well,
right, so are you gonna put on your case?
Are you ready for me? Is Mr.
Yes.
done? Oh, okay.
You go first. Petitioner
right.
has the burden of proof.
Okay, so,
You're the moving party.
could you put up, Melissa, the document number 1
sure.
on the exhibits that I sent to you?
Yep. Just give me 1 second. It's just opening up.
While we're waiting, Ms. Wright, can you tell us your full name?
Harriet Wright,
And where do you live?
105 Colts Neck Drive, Sicklerville, New Jersey.
Okay, and did you purchase this property that we're talking about, which would be 1528 Point Breeze Avenue, from relatives?
Yes,
Okay, and the prior owner had been deceased?
yes.
Okay, and so, all right.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Can everybody see this screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
but would you please, there should be a folder that says exhibits, and then it's the exhibit number 1 in there that I wanted.
That's what I have open.
Okay, all
Exhibit
right.
number 1.
Okay, okay, and that's your property here on Point Breeze?
Yes,
Okay, and then number 2, please, if you can just scroll down.
Exhibit number 2, right?
Yes,
Okay.
the one that's numbered on there too.
Okay, I see
It
what you
should
mean.
be a deed.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, here, and this is the city record of your property?
Yes.
Okay, and number 3, please. It should be a deed.
Oh, that's number 2. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. And is this your deed, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, and you purchased this property on the date that it says June 27, 2013?
Yes.
Okay, and this is the corner of the property we just saw the photograph of?
Correct.
Okay, okay, and number 4, please. Okay, and this is the petition that you filed for appeal?
Yes.
Okay, and on the second page of this petition, you explain why you
Right.
wanted to appeal?
Yes.
Okay. And it goes on into some history of when you took property and somebody else had gotten in there and et cetera. But you actually acquired title on that date in 2013.
Correct.
Okay, so can we move on to number, I think we're up to 4?
5.
5. Okay, now, the person that you bought it from was Nympha Johnson?
From the estate of Nagda
Yeah,
Johnson.
from her estate, okay. And there had been a number of liens and judgments on the court record as of the date that I downloaded this off the Common Pleas Court record, showing liens on there. And are you aware of those?
No.
Okay.
And what date was that, Mr.
Okay,
Quinn?
so February 22 of 2024.
Okay.
And it begins January 1 of 1990. So all liens filed of record in the Court of Common Pleas and judgments and lawsuits should all be here in this, between 1990 and 2024 should be right here.
School
Okay.
district, city.
Yeah, and okay, can we go to the next one, please, ma'am? Okay, now this is a water lien, okay?
Mhm.
And it tells you the date that this water lien was filed.
2023, okay.
So
Can you
it says,
speak a little bit louder?
Okay,
Ms. Wright?
this says January 5, 2023,
Yes,
and it says case type is a claim for water service,
yes,
and it says Philadelphia Water Department lien filed.
yes.
Okay, and can you scroll down so we can read that a little bit, please, to the end? Should tell us an amount. Okay. And lien filed in the amount of $1,187.73.
The city would like to object. What's the relevance of going through court dockets like this?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
All right.
Not going to be cut off too soon. You can go to the next document, please.
Do you see it?
Okay, this is, oh yeah, this one's filed Thursday, October 5, 2023. Again, it's a claim for water service. Yes.
So, yes, that's what
Okay.
it says, yes.
Now, there were two, if you looked on the 2 prior exhibits, there were 2 liens filed of record. Were any filed of record prior to the date that you purchased the property in 2013?
Not that I know.
Now,
Uh,
there were none shown on, were there any shown on that exhibit 5?
No.
if
You
he's
not
aboard,
turn to interrupt, sir.
Hold
Thank
on, Mr. Quinn. We're going to all be civil to each other today.
you. Mhm.
Mr. Peng, you had an objection?
yes, this recording case is disputing the water bills. We're not here to discuss whether a lien is effective or not, whether there is lien, which part of the debt is lien, which part of debt is not liened. The correct venue for discussing liens and challenge liens is Court of Common Pleas. If
On to
the
the next
council is
All
going
right,
to bring
thank you.
lien,
Got it. Mr. Quinn, how much, go ahead.
We can move on to the next document, please.
Melissa, I think.
This is the Water Account Bureau statement. for from 2011 to the date of the last hearing, 1/3/23. Okay, and that's for your property, correct?
That's what it says.
Okay, can we move to the next document, please? Okay, and here's an order for the Court of Common Pleas. Directed light to L&I and other city agencies concerning liens. Tax liens under the Tax Lien Act, okay? And can you move to the next document? Okay, and here now we get to the issue in my case. And I have a brief. Mr. Ping has a copy of the brief. This is essentially, in fact, the same brief I handed up to the Court of Common Pleas. And then Mr. Ping called me and said, we ought to just remand this back to the Tax Review Board. So for a full board hearing. And this is the issue. There is a statute in Pennsylvania, and it's a Municipal Claims and Tax Lien Act. And it's titled Title 53 of the Pennsylvania statutes, Chapter 71. Section 7106B is relevant to what and we can scroll down a little bit, please, so we get a hold of that. And what this section says is that any lien of the city of Philadelphia has to be filed of record. And if it's not filed of record for an amount, then it's not a lien when the property passes from one person to another. So 7106B says that when this property transferred from the estate of Nympha Johnson to Harriet Wright, she could not walk into the Office of Judicial Records in Philadelphia and look and see that there was a water lien in the tremendous amount of over $12,000 or now over $19,000. She could not have looked and seen that because at that time, there was no record whatsoever filed of record as required to do by law. And this isn't a law that governs me and Ms. Wright. This is a statute which demands the respect of the agencies which fall under the definition of municipals and those having claims falling under the definition of municipal claims. So all of the bill and all of the interest and all of the penalties and all of the lien fees and et cetera that the city accumulated up until June 27, 2013, not being filed of record, and I showed you Exhibit 5 showing that there was none filed of record, and you can go back and look at Exhibit 5 on your own and study that to see, and then just click on them and on your computer, and it's going to pop up on your screen so you can see it for real in real time on your computer or in computer time. So what I'm telling you is that all of the liens which accrued. Now, I do not dispute that after June 27, 2013, after that particular date, on those particular dates, let me back up. Excuse me, I just lost my train of thought.
Sure.
None of the prior liens, any of the debts owed, municipal claims owed by Nympha Johnson automatically as a matter of statutory law of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and I cite the cases in here which so hold. That's issue number one.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I missed their point, the cases, because we obviously have not had a chance to read all of this.
And you'll have an opportunity because that's why I uploaded it. And
I understand. So but could you just state for the record what the holdings in those cases are that make them relevant?
Yeah, the holdings in those cases are precisely what the statute says. And they're very brief cases to be reread. And what they say is the same thing that the statute says under 73 at 7106B. The city must record their liens in the Prothonotary office. We call it the OJR now, or they are not a lien. Now, Judge Doherty, probably about when he was the president judge of Philadelphia, and that's going back like 10 years, I guess. He issued the same memorandum that Judge Lizette did, and that is file these liens of record if you want your claims to exist. And that's why I put up that his order of 10 years ago is no longer available on the city website, on the court system website, because it's superseded by the current one, unfortunately. Maybe Mr. Ping has access to it. But that statute is clear and it must be obeyed by the parties who it is addressed to, and that are parties having municipal liens. That's issue number one. We do not dispute that Ms. Harriet Wright is entitled to and is obligated to pay all of the water bills that have occurred and have been incurred beginning June 27, 2013. Those bills from 2013 to today belong to Ms. Wright. Okay.
Okay, so stop. I just want to be clear for our purposes.
Mhm.
So your sole issue today, and that you want the board to review, has to do with the validity of the balance transfer that took place on the 27th of June, 2013. That we are
Yes.
no longer concerned
Yes.
about the bills that occurred after that.
Of
And
course.
essentially, you're making a legal argument.
Yes, absolutely.
I just want to make sure, because this is a little bit
Mhm.
Can
Different
CD
than-
respond to?
Wait a minute. Yes.
That's
Just-
issue number one.
Of course, Mr. Peng, you will have your opportunity.
And-
I just want to be sure that we understand that we're now bifurcating
So we're
a
going.
period of time.
Mhm.
Okay,
So now, the second issue is this, is that the interest and penalties that have accrued on the balance that is no longer legally liened have to be adjusted because we're starting from zero on June 27, 2013. The third issue is when Ms. Wright actually originally went to the tax review board master, she got a decision, and the decision says,
well, that decision is now vacated. Once you're in front of the board, you're starting de novo.
I understand that, but I have an issue about that because there was a master's hearing and then she went to the full board, okay? And now we're back at the full board. So I'm looking back at the master's hearing. With-
Objection, this is a de novo hearing as
I
Ms.
just
Watts
said that.
So
Why we
I'm going to make
discussing
my
this?
point whether we want
All right,
to.
he's gonna,
I have the
Mr. Peng,
record.
hold on, Mr. Quinn. Mr.
Yes.
Peng, I'm gonna note your objection for the record, and I'm gonna let him finish his point.
Okay. The master said abate penalty
No.
from 2007 up until 5/1/2013.
That's the-
Abate penalty. I have it right here in front of me.
And
Ms. Wright appealed to the full board, and the full board said abate half the penalty as a penalty for taking the appeal.
That
Mr.
is-
Quinn, that is completely a mischaracterization. When
Well,
someone appeals
that
to
is
the
the
hearing
intent.
officer, I'm sorry, that is a complete insulting mischaracterization.
Well,
This
okay,
board takes every case from the beginning without any predisposition. And we heard what Ms. Wright had to say and came to our own independent decision, as we do with every case that comes in front of us. It is very clear that when someone files an appeal from our hearing officer to the board, that original decision is vacated, you're starting fresh, you're starting de novo, and this board has every right to review and make its own decision based on what is presented at the hearing in front of the board. And that is what happened.
so my fourth and final point then, and then I'm done, is the rate of interest once a lien for water service is filed in 2023, October 5, 2023. Beginning that date under section 8104 of the Pennsylvania Code, and there is a case addressed to the Philadelphia PGW and one addressed to L&I and a third one addressed to the Water Revenue Bureau, which I cite in my memorandum. And all three of them say 8104 applies to any judgment or lien that is filed of record, and the state maximum interest rate for liens and judgments filed of record under the judicial code is 6%, not 18%, not 12%, not any other percent. And it doesn't allow for penalties. So as of 2023, October 5, 2023, the interest rate reduces from whatever interest rate the parties have, the Water Revenue Bureau charges, down to 6%. And so from that date going forward, and it's not a compounded rate, it's a simple interest rate. So from that date going forward, the interest rates have to be calculated from October 5, 2023 to today, according to that 6% interest rate. And those are my 4 points. And thank you very much. And any time that you're walking down the street and you see me and you want to explain why a tax review board would cut the abatement, then I'd love to understand. I would love to understand how these things work. I've been doing this for 46 years. One day I'm going to understand a city agency. Thank you very much. Mr. Peng, good to hear from you. I'm happy to say that.
So addressing Mr. Quinn's first issue about the liens, beginning, city maintains its position that the tax review board is not the correct venue to challenge the liens. The correct procedure to challenge liens is file a Squire Fasces at Board of Common Pleas. And on that being said, Ms. Quinn claimed the city did not file liens for the prior owner, Ninth Johnson's ownership of the water delinquent water fees Ms. Ninth Johnson collected. So so actually at this point, the city's main position is that this issue shouldn't be addressed at this hearing at all, because the petitioner can challenge that at any time at Court of Common Pleas, which is the correct venue to do so.
Okay.
The tax review board here does not have the jurisdiction to assess whether lien is properly implemented. We're here to simply put, we're here to discuss whether the billing amount is correct or incorrect, whether it needs to be reassessed, and whether how much penalties should remain on the account.
All right, so Mr. Peng, I'm going to step in, since Mr. Quinn has changed the nature of the hearing and limited it to the balance transfer. It's only and the validity of the balance, the legal validity of the balance transfer, as well as interest calculations that would be attached to it. And I would suggest, and I obviously haven't spoken to my fellow board members and I'd like to hear from them, I would suggest that we need to give the city an opportunity to file a reply brief on these issues. It does not sound like there is, and Mr. Peng, if you want to put on more factual evidence, you're obviously free to do so, but it sounds like this has become a matter of the legal arguments, that we have the facts as they stand. John, Ryan?
John O'Connor, I concur with the chairwoman.
Ryan Boyer, I concur with the chairwoman.
All right, Mr. Peng, is there any evidence that is not already on the record factual evidence that you would like to provide today. Otherwise, I think that we would like a legal brief from the city with the positions responding to Mr. Quinn. And the board itself would then take this under advisement, as we need time, number one, to digest Mr. Quinn's brief, as well as to provide you with an opportunity to provide us with a response brief.
So,
I'm sorry, just for clarification purposes, and so that way this order is very clear to all parties. Mr. Quinn's main argument is that the because of the balance transfer and because the city did not properly lien the balance transfer on or around June of 2013, the city cannot collect that amount that was transferred, or should not be able to collect, rather.
Can I just amend that very slightly to say?
Please, I want to
It
make sure,
cannot be-
I foresee this going to the Court of Common Pleas, and I want to be clear on this.
Okay, so it cannot include it in the ongoing monthly water bills. For instance, Harriet has received in the past few days, September 2, 24 to October 3, 24 water bill in an amount of $19,193.56, which of course includes a tremendous amount prior to her ownership, and since it wasn't liened. So it's not be collected, yes, it cannot be, she cannot be billed for that amount. That's, whether or not it sits as an existence of a lien is really pretty much irrelevant, except for the fact that it not having been liened, she can't be billed for it.
Okay, Mr. Peng.
And I had, if I could respond to what Mr. Ping said a few minutes ago, the position that Mr. Ping says that we are addressing here in prior conversations, and having dealt with the Water Revenue Bureau a few times in my past 46 years, their position, the city's position has always been, when we go to the Court of Common Pleas, and some judges it works for the city and some of them it doesn't, it works for me, that the place to bring these challenges, liened or not liened, is right here in the Tax Review Board and not first in the Court of Common Pleas.
Courtney, that's not the city's
Yeah.
position.
Court
The
of
city's
Common
position
Pleas.
is,
All right, so we're going to stop, Mr. Peng. I would like to have you brief this for us, as opposed to just everybody arguing about it.
yeah, I just want to,
The board having
yeah.
the foundation.
I want to fully, I haven't, earlier there's another couple points I would like to address before. So first of all, yeah, the city maintains the position of the board lack of jurisdiction. But that being said, the city believe that liens was properly filed. And also on the Ms. Quinn's issue with the penalties and interest, city also believe that this is not a correct venue to challenge the city's authority to implement interest and penalties. Other than that, give me a second. Let me see if I have any factual.
So, Mr. Peng, while you're looking at that, I'm going to amend my direction to you, which is in addition to asking that the city provide us with a brief that responds to Mr. Quinn's issues, please feel free to attach any other documents that you feel will also be pertinent and relevant.
Okay.
As Mr. Quinn has done with his evidence. And
So
make sure
Mr.
to provide
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Quinn, and provide Mr. Quinn with copies as well as the board. And I would say 30 days for that brief.
Ms. Quinn, I would like to confirm with you and your client, like, so at this point, your client is no longer challenging the water bills under her ownership. Is that correct?
Yes, no, we're not challenging those. Those are her bills.
Okay. Then I guess I have no factual testimony needs to put on.
Okay, so we are going to continue this matter, take it under advisement to provide the city with an opportunity for to provide a response brief to Mr. Quinn's brief and documents that might be relevant to that brief. This will give the board the opportunity to digest everything Mr. Quinn has provided today, as well as the city's argument. We will then either issue a decision if we feel that at that point we can, or we may schedule another hearing for additional final legal argument and any questions that we may have for the parties.
Can the board please provide a deadline for the memo?
30 days.
Hold on, I'll give you an exact date, Mr. Peng. 1 second.
Thank you.
It's a little bit shorter. I think maybe Fridays work well. So Mr. Peng, how is the 13th, December 13th? It's a Friday.
Let me just check my calendar, making sure.
It's not the hearing date. It's
It's just a date
Okay,
for the brief to be submitted so the board can review it, hopefully before we go on Christmas break.
okay, so December 13th. Okay.
Yes.
That is fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I think that then concludes this matter for today. Thank you, Mr. Quinn, for all of the very comprehensive information that you provided, and we do need time to read through it all. Mr. Peng, we will await your brief and then we will reconvene on this matter.
I thank you very much, all.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Can the
That
board
is-
just hold tight?
Yeah.
That's okay. Thank you.
All right, so I think that concludes our docket for today.
Yep.
Yes. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend and we will see you on Tuesday.
Okay.
all right.
Thank you,
Melissa, can
everyone.
I